welcome back to Wise Words with SJ. That's me, SJ, a show where we talk about wisdom, I hope, my wisdom, things that I know a lot about. So anyway, I'm reading letters now. I'm answering letters from people who have written into me at Wise Words, an email, wisewords@jltv.tv. This letter comes from Linda A., who says, am I too picky for this guy? Whew, that's a good question, my friend Linda. She's like 35, and she's been divorced. She's been dating a lot of different men. She's met them on different websites, which I think is great because I understand that's the way people meet today. I never had to worry about that because I met my husband at the bank. He was making a withdrawal. I was making a deposit, whatever, withdrawal deposit. So, I've always found it very easy to meet people. I've never had any trouble meeting anybody. I could always meet anybody, anywhere. I just start talking to people, whether in the elevator, at my apartment, the eyeglass store, wherever. I always meet people. So that's just not me, But if I had difficulty meeting somebody, I probably would go to a website, a dating app. There's so many of them now, from what I understand. But, okay. So Linda put herself up on the dating app. I'm not going to say what it is at this time, but one of those dating apps. And, she's 35. She's been married before. She's had no kids, but she does want to get married again and have kids. Okay, 35 is a good age to have a kid. I had mine at 36, so it's a very good age. That's the perfect age, in my opinion, to start having kids, especially in today's world. You're set financially, everything is cool, you're all right. So Linda says that she's very picky. What does that mean? Yeah, you've been married before, things haven't worked out. You got a divorce, okay, you didn't buy a house, you didn't have kids. You pretty much are on your own. You have a great job, you're very successful. You've got a great job at a company you love. So you're set financially. Now what? You put yourself on the dating app and you see who you want to date. Now it just depends. Do you want to date older or younger or both? Well, my opinion is give yourself like 6 years older than you or maybe even 4 years younger than you, especially if you want to have kids. That's number one. Number two, the most important thing is, Linda, is he self-supporting through his own contributions? That means, is he going to look for you to take care of him? No, that's very important. Number three, does he want kids? That's another thing, Linda. You got to find out if he wants kids. Number 4 or 5, let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, I think. Has he got kids of his own? Is that okay that he dates you with kids of his own, and does he mind having another kid? Where are you going to live? That's the next thing. Linda, we all watched that show, Golden Bachelor. And now we know, sad to say, after 3 months, the Golden Bachelor and his wife are divorcing. It's very sad. It's sad for her. I don't know about him. I'm just going to tell you. It's very sad for her because she is a lovely person. Lovely. She was married to her high school sweetheart, and then he passed. She's got a great job, and she's a lovely, sweet person. In fact, I know her personally. I'm just going to say that. That's all I'm going to say about her. I adore her. So, Linda, she's in her 70s like me. Will she look for another person? I bet you she does. And this is the advice I would give to her. Give yourself a break. Take your time to meet somebody else. Don't rush into another relationship. I know you had a long-term marriage with your previous husband who passed. You don't need to rush into anything. You just take your time, girl. And that's what I say to you, Linda. The only thing that's ticking is your clock as to when you're going to have a baby. You just have to be very, very smart as to looking for the right person. So as I said, 5 years older, 6 years older, 4 years younger? Does he work? Does he have a job? Is he living in the same area as you? Is he GU? That means geographically undesirable. That means that, would that matter to you? I know it wouldn't matter to me, but that's just me. I can drive anywhere. He can drive anywhere. And if you're worth it, he'll drive anywhere, okay? Like I said, does he have a job? Does he have an apartment? Does he have kids? But are you too picky? Are you looking for the most perfect person in the world? Is it going to bother you if he wears his dirty socks the next day? I know, like with my husband, all of a sudden he takes his socks off and he's putting the same socks on he wore the day before. Ed, you wore these socks yesterday, but they're not dirty, honey. Ed, the socks you wore yesterday are dirty. Take them off. You've got at least 30 pairs of socks. Put on clean socks, please, Ed. I always say, make sure you have clean underwear, because if you get into an accident, you don't want to be embarrassing me, do you? Anyway, what does he feel about animals? Are you a cat person? Are you a dog person? What do you think? I mean, these are questions you need to ask. It's like a job interview, but don't be too picky. I always say, what side of the bed do you sleep on? I sleep on the right side. So if he sleeps on the right side, are you going to move to the left side? I don't know. Do you want a honeymoon? Do you like to travel? When you get married again, how soon do you want the kids? I mean, you're 35, right? Probably pretty soon you want to get pregnant right away. I think that's very, very important to know how many kids you want. So being too picky to me is, if he sleeps on the right side and you sleep on the right side, maybe you should just move to the left side, okay? Does he put his face in his food when he's eating? Does that really matter? My father put his face in his food when he was eating, down like that. My mother and he were married from 1943 to 1990, so it didn't matter to her about that. Those things are so ridiculously picky. I mean, does he use your toothbrush? Well, that might be a little much, I would say. Have your own toothbrush. You each have your own bathroom. Is that important to you? It's very important to me to have my own bathroom, you know. I like having my own. My husband has his, I have mine. I think that's it. Do you make the bed every morning? We make the bed every morning. This morning I didn't make the bed. I asked my husband, honey, I'll probably be gonna be working for a while. Do you mind making the bed for me? He said no, he didn't mind. Of course, you know, honey, dear, and sweetie. So think about all the things you're too picky about immediately. I remember I had one friend, I fixed him up with another gal. You know what he said to me? Because she was eating like she was going to the electric chair. That meant her face was in the food and she was eating so much food he just couldn't take it. That bothered him. It wouldn't bother me. Those kind of things don't bother me. But don't be too picky at 35 years old, okay? I hate to be alone. I must admit that. I love being with my husband. I love being with a person. You know, I love being and hanging out with somebody every night, watching television, sitting watching silly stuff, the news, funny stuff. He loves Jeopardy, whatever. So don't be too picky, Linda. Remember, at the end of your life, who are you going to be with? Your cat, your dog? I know they're fabulous, but I know you want a person, Linda. So listen to me. Listen to SJ, who has been married 3 times, engaged 5. And I love you, Linda, and everybody else who's watching this. Have a great day. Love ya. And join us for our next episode. And please email me at wisewords@jltv.tv, and I'll answer all your questions, whether you like it or not.